and welcome to this EIC Innovative ePitch session. And we are ready to start. So before we start, let me just do a quick recap of what's going to be our agenda for the day. So this session is expected to take around 90 minutes. We'll start with a welcome, introduction, and some house rules. Then we'll have my colleague Diana Rucinschi from EIC doing a small presentation on the ScaleUp tool. Then we will have a small presentation for each of the investors also. And then we will have the e-pitching session per se, where we will have 6 companies pitching. Then we will have feedback from the investors to the companies, and then at the end, the closure and final remarks. Okay. So let's start with some house rules first. I would like to remember that this is a recorded session and that this recording will be shared in the EIC community. And some parts of this recording, they might be used in other communications, okay? I would like also to ask you that if you haven't done so, that please to change your name, to put your name and the company you are representing, so that we know who's who. I would also like to ask you that to keep your microphone muted until you are asked to speak. The presentation order, I would like to clarify that the presentation order will be in the random order, okay? There is no special selection on this. And that if you would like to share or if you'd like in the comments, like to give some feedback, you have some buttons under the participants that you can use, so that I know that you want to share something, you want to talk. Okay. If for any case something is not working with you, just please let me know so that we can try to work it out. Okay. So that's it for now. So let's move along, and I'll pass the stage, so to say, to my colleague, to Diana Rucinschi, and she will do a quick introduction to the ScaleUp tool and what we are planning for you. Diana, you ready?
Hi, Felipe. Yes, I'm ready. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all of you for joining this session, which is the first e-pitching session that we are developing based on the ScaleUp EU data. Later, I will present you a bit. Many of you know already what ScaleUp EU is, but I will present you a bit later what it is for those that are not aware, and how it can be used and what is the value proposition. So I will start to share my presentation. Fingers crossed. Okay. Okay, so my name is Diana Rucinschi. I am Investor Relation Advisor for EIC, and I am in the room with my colleagues Roman Boutier and Andrea Melesh, that many of you already know because you have worked together with them or you met them at different events, and we are working together on the business acceleration services on the part related to investors, together with, of course, with Felipe. Just briefly,
Diana. Yeah, and you have some rectangle on the desk that we cannot see. So this is maybe the view of the pictures of the people. Can you move this somewhere else? Yeah, this one.
Is it fine?
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you still see something on the screen? Because on our screen we don't see anything.
Yeah, we see the present.
Okay,
the presenter mode, not the presentation, but the presenter mode.
Okay, thank you very much for telling me. So as you know, the EIC Accelerator pilot is searching, it's scouting, and is funding the most innovative startups, European, but not only European, also from the countries associated to Horizon 2020. And we are providing funding from 50,000 euros. Well, in the future, this was the last call for 50,000 euros for phase 1, up to 2.5 million euros. This is equity free. And as a novelty, from October 2019, we are going to provide as well equity investments of up to 15 million euros. But this is not the most important value proposition from our side, because we are supporting companies with smart money and not only with money. Therefore, we are providing business innovation coaching from 3 days to 12 days to support them and to empower the companies to cope in different directions, like identifying the market segment, attracting the right finance, recruiting, etc. And last but not least, we are supporting the companies with business acceleration services, connecting them with partners, which can be investors or large corporates, venture capitalists, business associate, business angels, and in the future we are starting already to provide. We'll start to provide services regarding and we'll start to develop services regarding public procurement and mentors to stimulate the learning opportunities. So far, the composition of the portfolio, it's we have more than 4,400 companies, and by the end of 2020, we'll have around 6,000 companies, and we have provided already almost 2 billion euros, and we still have 1 billion euros. So hurry up to not miss this opportunity. We have companies from 39 countries. Well, the countries that are best represented are France, Italy, Spain, Ireland also, but we see Nordic countries and other countries that are growing constantly the number of the participations. Let me present you a bit the performance of the portfolio so far. As I was mentioning to you, apart from providing granting, we are also providing business acceleration services, putting the companies in contact with the right investors and with the right large corporates. Because our desire is that we support the companies not only with the grant, and they should not be dependent on the grant only, but they should be able to scale up using private money, fundraising, and also to network with large corporates and to put them also in contact with public or private procurers in the future as clients for their services. You can see on the screen that we have attracted already, our companies have attracted already 3 billion euros as investments, as private follow-up investments from the fund. And basically each euro that has invested by the accelerators has been matched by the private investors more than double. And in this respect, I would like to already inform you that we are going to publish in the next days the impact report of the for this year's with improved data. This information are just some brief information from the report, but I will share this report. We'll share this report with you, and I advise you to go to this report to discover better the companies in our portfolio and our offer. Here are the another way of supporting the companies and the success of our companies. We have so far 17 IPOs. Majority of them are on the European market, on Nasdaq Stock Exchange, and I would like to mention that we had an event with them last year, and 33 acquisition, a number that is constantly increasing, and we are very proud that many of these acquisitions are made by companies, European companies. Then I would like to take you to the business and to make a short tour through the business acceleration services that we are offering. The main tool that we are offering is the EIC community, which is a meeting place for the companies and also for investors and large corporates. Not only that offers the whole portfolio of the companies, they have already the profile created on the community, but also offers a marketplace, and there is also the possibility from there to go to the ScaleUp EU, which is the investor matching tool. Here is the EIC community. As you can see, we have a group on the EIC community which is called Financial Development, and you are warmly invited, if you are not there on this group, to join this group. We will send you invitations. We are publishing on this group events or news that can concern you if you are interested in fundraising money or in IPO or any of these activities. And this brings me to the most important point, the point that we are actually here today, ScaleUp EU, and which is the matching tool between investor and between companies on our portfolio. ScaleUp EU is basically we plan to have ScaleUp EU as the business acceleration services gateway for investor events. And our value proposition consists of quality of users. We have only EIC funded companies on this tool, which have been already selected by investor or by other type of innovation persons. And from the investor side, the investors are as well carefully checked. We have criteria in order to be able to join this tool, and the investors are checked, and we are looking definitely for investor with an European perspective. It's a pan-European platform, which the user can find potential partners from all the other countries, from all the other Hash 2020 countries. You have the possibility to appear with public or anonymous profile. However, I would advise especially companies to go with and those that are in a fundraising stage to go with a public profile, because investors, they are more interested than are. First of all, they are very busy, and then we notice that they have a higher rate of interest for the companies that have already a public profile. Of course, it is up to you to see what kind of information you include in this platform, and to avoid disclosing super confidential information from your side. Last but not least, what we offer is a clear visualization of fitting and non-fitting criteria via the strategic fit, and also the possibility to search for a certain investor in certain fields or in certain countries, or depending on the needs of your investment or of your company. Shortly, what we are offering via the platform, it's matchmaking between EIC funded companies and investors. E-pitching events organized via the platform on different topics. This is the first one, but others will follow, and physical events based on the requirements and need collected from the platform. So if you have not done it yet, if we have companies that have joined the pitching and have not created yet the platform, the profile on the platform, I strongly advise you to do it. We are here to support you if you have any questions, because we are going to use this platform for all the future events that we are going to do. Here in the next slides are some very brief presentations for what we have done so far, and what I have mentioned to you already, that we have organized investor and corporate dates. You have some data regarding the number of investor and corporate dates. I will not go through them, but we can see that there were quite a lot of events organized, and with quite a high satisfaction rate. For the investor dates, again some examples. Examples also of the investors that are on the platform or that have attended our events, and we are very happy to have many of them. I mean, we have all of them. Those that are in today's session, they are either on the platform. They are on the platform, or they have attended one of the events. And I would like to thank to the investors actually that are participating, to Thierry and to say hello to Thierry from Solvay, to Jen from BASF, and Jen from EVONIK, and to Marc from BASF, and to Jen from Dow. Yes, as you can see, I mean, the events are offering new financial opportunities. These are the main value proposition for our events. They are offering new financial opportunities. They are offering networking, visibility, and new learnings from our side, and also from the side of the companies, like the investor with Nasdaq, where they have understood better how to go public on public stock exchange. From our side, we have learned that we have to do more targeted invests, and this is what we are going to do in the future. That investors have very specific investment criteria, and this is what we are trying to offer. We need your data. That's why you should create a profile on ScaleUp EU, because otherwise we cannot know your data and we cannot create a really targeted event for you. And we have also understood that the quality dominates quantity, hence these smaller events, but that we can really focus and we can provide you the so-called concierge services, that we can really follow it up, and we can really support you and learn from you what are your needs. This is a very rough estimation of the investor activities for the next period. What is for sure is that on 31st of November we'll have another pitching session on renewable energies, and then
sorry Diana, it's 31st of October. No,
31st of October. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. 31st of October. Yes, you are right. You are absolutely right, Filipe. And then in November we'll have the e-pitch for the EVC with Tech Tour, and in December we'll have the final EVC final in Essen. And then we are planning also other physical and e-pitches events that will be published in the next month on our calendar on the EIC community. I would like to close this presentation to encourage you to those that have not created a profile to please create a profile. At the end of the presentation, you have our email address. You can contact us, and if you have any difficulties, we are here all to support you. We are going to send you also a follow-up survey, which is very, very important for us in order to improve our activities. So please fill in this survey, and also if you'd like to improve, if you'd like to propose new things from both the companies that you think are necessary, or from both the side of the investor, we are really happy to have these questions and to have this information on board. Okay, thank you very much to everybody, and then I will give the floor to back to Felipe.
Thank you, Diana, for this presentation on the ScaleUp tool and all the activities that we are planning. Now moving along, so I would like to give the thank to the investors that gave their time to be here today with us and to hear your pitches and provide some feedback. So I would ask them to give a short introduction for the ones that don't know them. Again, with no specific order, but maybe we can start with Marc Leduc from BASF. Marc, you ready? Just 1 minute per presentation, really quick.
Sure. Hi, can you hear me?
Thanks. Yes.
Wonderful.
Thanks. please.
Good. So yeah, 1 minute is already too much. So my name is Marc Leduc. I'm from BASF Venture Capital. We're based here in Germany. As one of the leading chemical companies, we've got the other ones here present. We of course look to invest in startups in Series A and B stages globally, and the typical areas where we look at are of course chemistry in the broad sense of the word, but also in new business models and digitalizations that can support the chemical industry.
Great, thank you so much, Marc. So I'll pass the word now to Joost from Dow. Hope I managed to get it right this time. Yes.
No, perfectly. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody, depending on the time zone. Joost here. I work for Dow. I'm part of the corporate venturing group. Dow is a large and leading chemical corporation. We are working and looking to work with startups to basically accelerate our innovation. We invest in these companies, but they need to be aligned to the business units we have. So we are a little bit limited in the areas of interest. In general, there needs to be a material angle or a chemistry angle to it. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Joost. I'll pass the word now to Thierry from Solvay. Thierry.
Yeah. I'm Thierry Piret. I'm with the corporate venturing fund of the Solvay group. We invest globally in early stage companies developing advanced materials and chemicals. For instance, we are a leading supplier of composite materials. We are also working in the battery space, like my colleagues, I'm also interested in looking at digitization of the industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thierry, for presentation and for being here also. And last but not least, of course, Jens from EVONIK.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jens from EVONIK. It's always good to be last of this round because I'm pretty much the same as everyone before. So Marc and Joost and Thierry, we know each other very well. So I'm from EVONIK, also a chemical company. We're also looking into venture startups and in the material space. And I think the rest is pretty much the same. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jens. And now we'll move along to the e-pitching session, where we will have again the 6 companies chosen by the investors here present to do their pitch. So I remember that the companies will have 5 minutes to do the pitch. I'll be the timekeeper. I will give you a notice when you are 30 seconds to the end. Okay, and then after that we will have 3 minutes of Q&A. For the investors to ask some pressing questions they might have. Okay, so the order, it was chosen by random, and I can share the order with you now. So we'll have RadiSurf. In second we'll have AdBio Composites. Then in third we'll have Ray Techniques. In fourth we'll have Pewas. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. In fifth, we'll have Grand Recycling, and in sixth, we have SilicoLife. Okay, just for you to be aware of the order. So to move along, I'll ask Mikkel from RadiSurf if he's ready. Sorry, and to take it away.
Yes, thank you very much. Do you hear me?
All good, yes.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll just move along and share my presentation here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so do you see it?
Yes, whenever you're ready.
Perfect. Yes, so thank you very much. As you mentioned, my name is Mikkel Knongsfelt. I'm CEO and co-founder of RadiSurf, and I'll try to tell you how we are planning to change the industry of tomorrow when it comes to materials and bonding between materials. So If we look into some of the mega trends of the industry today, there's a huge need of lightweight materials, composite materials, sustainable circular economy solutions, and advanced engineering products. All of this requires new material solutions, and there is still a huge gap between what's actually sought for in the industry and what's available by of solutions today, especially when it comes to bonding between materials and the surface of materials. If we then imagine one solution that would be able to create extremely strong and glueless bonding between materials, and at the same time would allow us to create functional, invisible functional surfaces, while still remaining a sustainable and environmentally friendly choice, that would be a great solution. And that's exactly what we're trying to develop in RadiSurf. So with our breakthrough technology, we're able to create so-called polymer brushes on surfaces on a large scale. So the polymer brushes, they are like a nano Velcro structure on the surface that are able to entangle into plastic materials during production and efficiently create a chemical bond from one material and into another material. The result of that is an ultra tight and ultra strong bonding between materials. It's chemically safe, and it's eco-friendly, and even allows reversible bonding between materials, allowing you to disentangle your materials and recycle them at the end. It's high strength and durability, it's an efficient primer for plastic coatings, and it allows you to create directly functional surfaces. Each customer has a unique challenge, and with our technology, we are able to tackle each customer's unique problem by simply adapting the chemistry of the polymer brushes to match different materials or change properties of the surfaces. That sets us aside for some of the competition today that mainly rely on standardized adhesive solutions or standardized coating solutions, and allows us to tackle problems where we're looking at really some of the big challenges today in impossible design, ultra high safety products, or extreme conditions. We work directly with our customers through a dedicated project model. So we help our customers solve their specific needs in early stage project, where we act as a consultant, as a supplier to solve their specific needs before we move on, sign a license agreement, and help them scale up their production. And in the end, we can deliver the ready mixed chemicals for their specific needs with our solution. The market opportunity of this is huge. The global adhesive market is a $40 billion market, and the nano coating market is growing by more than 20% each year. And we're already gaining traction in this market. We launched the company in 2015. We've done a lot of development in the first years, but we already from the beginning sold projects to customers. And we increased the focus on this. We increased the size of the project and the amount of projects we take on in 2019. So we doubled the sales of last year already now. We are 8 employees right now, and we attracted in combination of soft funding, private funding, more than 2.6 million euro for our technology since founding the company. With our projections, we are aiming for creating a sustainable growing business from 2023 and onwards. We need to attract more funding. We need to hire more employees to reach that goal. We have achieved a lot of acknowledgements for our technology, for disruptive technology, for a way of tackling specific problems for our customers. We also received several soft funding grants already, both from EU and from the Danish funding agencies. We're looking to raise more soft funding in the coming years, but we're also looking to raise 1 million euro in private funding in 2022 to help us reach the milestones of a really strong growing business from 2023 and onwards. And I hope that some of you would like to join us on that journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mikkel. Right on time. Still, you even have some free time if you wanted to use it. So I would like to ask if any of the investors has any pressing question they would like to ask to Mikkel.
Yeah, Jens here from EVONIK. Yeah, thank you for the presentation. I think we met before, and you already talked also with our business. Yes. Can you explore a little bit about the force that you can have on the surface when you put things together?
Yes, so it really depends a lot on the specific materials, of course. So if you look at the core technology, the polymer brushes, we need to adapt them to the specific materials we are trying to bond. But in general, what we're really aiming for all the time is that the bonding is not the weak link. So we are able to achieve on a lot of materials full cohesive fracture of the weakest of the materials, usually the polymer material, plastic material.
Is there any
so that's around, if you look at materials, we have acrylic materials where we're around 10 megapascals. We have PVDF where we're around 40 megapascal in strength. So yeah, that's some of the examples.
Is there any limitation in material?
Yes, of course there are. So we need to be able to use our specific polymerization technique to create the polymer brushes, and that sets a limitation. One of the materials that we are still struggling with, we are trying to develop solutions for are some of the polypropylene, polyethylene materials, polyamides. But we are trying to find solutions for that as well. But that's some of the materials we're struggling a bit with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mikkel. Jens, you have your mic unmuted. You want to ask a question also? Sorry, Jens, you're still packing. Joost.
Hi, Mikkel. Joost here. I was wondering, what are the biggest hurdles that you actually see towards the adoption of the technology? I mean, there's several ways of achieving adhesion. There are limitations in the polymer families that you can handle, as you noted. At the same time, there is some processing that is involved. There are other technologies out there. So towards the accelerated adoption, what really needs to happen from your end to have that acceleration and that hockey stick behavior?
Yeah, so the big issue for us right now is to actually prove the scalability. So we are limited by the resources we have right now in our labs and so on. So we are currently still doing all of the work in our small labs. So our really big goal is to show a large volume scalability. We have proofs on the chemical part of it that it's possible, but to move from there to actually have a proven scalable solution, high volume throughput, we somehow, in order to get our customers to really go for this for large volume productions, they're really reluctant to do that before we actually have a proven scalable system. It's hard to be the first mover on that, and therefore we are looking for funding to get closer to a proven scalability.
Okay, so your funding is really driven at moving from, I'll say, lab pre-pilot scale, doing the ramp up and taking volume out, taking stable volume out to the industry in selected applications.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, Marc, you have your mic unmuted. We have time for the last question. You want to do it? Marc? No. Okay, so I guess this
sorry,
is...
Sorry,
oh, okay.
I had the phone on mute as well,
okay.
Not just
okay.
the conference. Sorry about that. So my question would be maybe the recyclability that you mentioned. You said that you could recycle. You talk about sustainability, so you said you could recycle this. What do you actually mean? Because you've got a block copolymer that's embedded in one of the blocks or in both. What happens when you try to recycle this?
Yeah, so the whole point here is that the polymer brushes could be, if you look at a combination of, for instance, a stainless steel and a plastic material here, you will have the polymer brushes on the stainless steel, and then of course entangled during production, doing overmolding or similar technology into the polymer material. But that also allows you to disentangle it again. You don't have any for instance, if you used an adhesive, you probably have a lot of leftovers of the adhesive on your final material when you disassemble them. Here, if you heat up the interface again, you'll be able to separate them, and you will have completely clean materials again.
I get it.
So that's the whole point of it. The other thing is that we are testing. We are not in a final solution for that yet, but actually to embed, we can control the chemistry from the surface and up in these polymer brushes. And that would also allows us to put in triggers that would allow us to disentangle it. So you could also do controlled disentanglement of it. But that requires a bit more development. But we are on it.
Yeah.
So
okay,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for it. It was an interactive, interesting pitch. Thank you, Mikkel. So
you're welcome.
So we'll move along now to the next pitch, and it's going to be from AdBio Composites from Mauel Suarey. Manuel, are you ready?
Yes, I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, it's
I'll
working.
just put on my presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can see it now.
Yes, okay, it's working. So
okay.
You can take it away whenever you want.
Thank you. So my name is Mauel Suarez, and I will try to present you very briefly the new materials we are developing at AdBio Composites. Just a moment, this is working. So at AdBio Composites, we design and manufacture compostable biopolymers. That means biodegradable plastics made from vegetable sources, currently from corn, sugarcane, or beet. We are developing a whole line of substitutes to oil-based plastics such as PVC, polystyrene, polyethylene, and PET, such as the ones we currently use every day. As you can see below, we're achieving very good physical properties in these new materials. We are a spin-off company from a first-line research laboratory in Spain called Itene, specializing in the development of new solutions for the packaging industry, and with a long history of world patents in new materials. So why bioplastics? Well, you're all aware of the acute environmental problems caused by the use of oil-based plastics. This photo is from one of the many international campaigns on this subject by National Geographic. It's very interesting to see that in these photographs you can see very well-known brands. So these campaigns are stigmatizing plastic packaging production within the public. Not only that, but what's more, the European Commission has come up with a whole new legislation implying that by 2030, all plastic packaging has to be reusable, recyclable, or compostable, which is our case. This represents a dramatic change for the plastic packaging industry, manufacturing sector, which has been using regular plastic so far. Now, what does compostable mean? In case you didn't know, it's a higher standard than just biodegradable. It means that 90% of the material will degrade to CO2 and water in 90 days within an industrial compost facility, and no plastic residue left over. So the European packaging industry, directly affected by this legislation, is almost 40% of all plastic industry in Europe. As you can see, there are a million direct employment and thousands of companies, and that is our market. They have to change the way they work, and we are aiming to give them a solution. And we are developing a whole new line of compostable materials as an answer to the plastic packaging industry looking for alternatives. As you can see, along with some examples of what the packaging products our customers manufacture, we achieve exceptional physical properties as alternatives to polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, and other current use plastics. Now, what we do is always in collaboration with real manufacturers. We have developed different grades to substitute oil-based plastics. These are not laboratory grades. They are production materials certified by real industry players. Each grade has been developed with an industry partner, validated in existing machinery and molds of packaging manufacturers. You can see we have grades for extrusion, for film, for injection blowing, and for injection molding. Now we plan to have these products on the shelves this very same year. We want to keep on developing new grades in contact with the industry. When we manufacture our own additives in-house, and we even make the final compound if the customer needs it. So ready for direct packaging production if it's needed. Otherwise, we can just sell the additives, or we also contemplate licensing the technology for third parties to use. Research started in Itene in 2008. Our company was founded in 2015. A Horizon 2020 Phase 2 program was considered only last year. And industrial production, as I said, of our products to start at the end of this same 2019. We are currently 6 people at AdBio, with 6 more people to join when the manufacturing facility is finally ready. It's important we have 2 PhDs in chemistry and materials. They are responsible for the continuous development of the technology. Now, we currently manufacture our additives in a small 15-liter reactor, which allows us for a very low production level. You can see it on the left, on pale blue color. We're starting up a 100-liter reactor and a 500-liter reactor for the additives is planned, and that will allow us to reach a much higher turnover and profits in the next years. And that is what we're looking for. We're looking for an investment of 2 million euros to set up the new 500-liter reactor within an industrial facility and reach a volume of approximately 2,800 tons per year. We have letters of interest from companies involved in our new materials industry, and the final stage is due to the new regulation. Big changes are coming to the European plastic packaging industry. We're currently ahead in development, referred to other alternative materials, and we'll be having real products on customer shelves the same year. There are no established compostable material alternatives of big volume at the moment. So the first company to present a complete solution with a variety of different uses really can reach a dominating position in this high volume future market. And that's very much it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Manuel. So still on time, which is awesome. So I would like to pass the words now to the investors, and I see that Marc is the first one that wants to ask a question. Marc, please go ahead.
Hi. Thank you. Hi, Manuel. Thank you for your presentation. Maybe it's just a first question to understand exactly what you're doing. So from the slides, I think I understood that you're making a PLA block copolymer. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We manufacture the additives. We buy the PLA in the market, and we sell a grade which is a PLA-based compound with additives that we have manufactured ourselves.
Okay, so what's your additive? Does it help the degradation? Is that the value proposition of your additive?
The additives conforms a nano structure within the PLA, improving dramatically the fluency of the material, the barrier properties, and the facility for it to be used in real application. PLA, as very well known, has been around for a long time. But it comes up with a lot of different problems when you get it into real product industrial facility. We achieve very good properties. We increase transparency radically, and the fluency and the facility fabrication with the resulting grade is quite accomplished.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marc. Thierry, I see that you wanted to ask a question also.
Yeah. Quick question. Could you tell a bit more about the barrier properties of the product?
Sure. As you can see, right below, we're achieving. You see down there quite a properties that we achieve on the downside of the screen. Barrier properties. We have an improvement of original PLA of up to 50%, both to humidity and water vapor.
Okay, thank you. Jens, I see that you want to be next. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Manuel. Maybe it's already on this slide. Yeah, I like the idea, but unfortunately, it's all about costs, and you're competing with very cheap material in the packaging industry. Can you elaborate a little bit on the price? You say competitive price on the slide, but can you say a little bit on that?
Thank you it's a very good question. Thank you for the question. Yes, our price is more expensive than oil-based plastic materials. We are currently maybe 3 to 4 times more expensive, but there is such a pressure on the packaging industry right now that they find it something that they can live with as long as they can achieve a product nowadays in a very rapid manner that can be on the shelves with an industrial compostable sign. It's more expensive than oil-based, but the customers, the packaging industry is more than happy right now to pay the difference in price.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jens. Joost, I see you want to be the next one, and we still have time for your question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Manuel, Joost here. Pleasure to meet. Because it's PLA plus additives, the additives that are being used, are these actually biodegradable as well, or do they actually remain, somewhere?
They reach the additives we add to the PLA, as well as the whole compound has passed all the tests at the TUV, referring to food contact safety and compostable. So the mixed grade is compostable as well as the PLA.
So just to be very specific, that I'm not misunderstanding. So the additives that you added, they're not ending up as, let's say, small oligomers or microplastic, any type of residue. They're
Absolutely
not
not.
there.
Absolutely
Okay.
not. Thank you for the question. Absolutely not. They are as compostable as PLA. There are absolutely no residues, whether from the PLA or from the additives, other than CO2, water, and of course compost.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, Manuel. Thank you again. Very, very active session again, and we are keeping on time, which is great.
Thank you very much.
So we'll move along now. Next on the list is Olga from Ray Techniques. Olga, are you ready?
My presentation now, full screen, yes?
We are not seeing your screen yet, Olga.
Why? Лена, срочно сюда. You don't see, you do not see my presentation?
Not yet, no.
Yes. And now?
It's not. Yeah. It's not coming up. Do you want me to do it from this side?
Now do you see?
Oh, okay. It's coming up. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, it's working. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So, whenever you are ready.
My name is Olga Levinson, and I am the manager of Ray Techniques. And thank you for the opportunity to introduce our company and nano-diamond technologies we developed. Ray Techniques was established in Jerusalem 10 years ago. We produce pure uniform nanodiamonds by our patented method and sell them in small quantities, mostly for research needs. Ray takes part in two Horizon projects, Carter, carbon nanomaterials for theranostics, and Panda, production of advanced nanodiamond additives. Presently, nanodiamonds are used in polymers, lubricants, coatings, fine polishing, fuels, and in multiple research, including catalysis and regenerative medicine. I can give a few examples of nanodiamonds' performance. In scanty amounts, nanodiamonds significantly improve in functional properties of polymers: strength, wear resistance, thermal conductivity, insulation, optical properties, anti-fouling, and so on. Only 0.1% by weight improved the absorptivity of polyurethane foam 2.5 times, reduce the dielectric losses of silicon by 5 times, increase the hardness of epoxy by 40%. Nanodiamonds demonstrate unique performance in anti-friction lubricants. They perfectly polish friction surfaces. Then, being 50 times harder than steel, they penetrate these surfaces and create protective diamond nanolayer. And finally, at high temperature of lubrication, they turn into carbon onions, which are the best nanobearings in nature. All these reduce the friction, wear, energy consumption, and extend the surface life of mechanism by 2 to 3 times. In fuels, only 0.1/1000% of nanodiamonds provide more than 10% fuel savings. In catalysts, nanodiamonds accelerate chemical reactions by 2 to 3 times and are highly promising for petrochemistry, disposal of organic compounds, and air purification. Potential market of nanodiamonds is huge. Additives to plastics, lubricants, master batches, fuels, and industrial catalysts exceed $75 billion. The question is, what is the part of nanodiamond additives in this market? I am sorry to disappoint you. The answer is almost zero. The main reason is that industrial method for producing nanodiamonds is detonation of explosives in big metal chambers. This process is not controllable and doesn't provide consistent quality and predictable output. Secondly, there are no industrial technologies for disaggregation and uniform mixing. And thirdly, there are only few industrially validated formulations. We in Ray Techniques solve these problems. We do not detonate. We produce nanodiamonds from ash and wax by the controlled green technology of laser synthesis. Our Ray nanodiamonds are of the consistent quality, the highest purity and uniformity. We also developed industrial process for disaggregation of nanoparticles and their homogeneous mixing with solvents and polymers. And in addition, we developed final formulations of advanced nanodiamond additives ready for industrial implementation. So we suggest to validate and consume our products, to perform joint research with academia for the development of a specific nanodiamond application of your interest. Enzymes, catalysts, additives to lithium-ion batteries, thermoconductive polymers, or any else. And our main proposal is to create together a strong, now defunct nanodiamond industry. To establish full-scale Panda and become a global leader in 5 years, we need 7.5 million euros. Now at phase 1, we plan to carry out industrial validation of developed products and their customization, to test new formulations, to modernize our laboratory, and to attract new employees. Phase 1 budget is 1.5 million euros. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Olga, and on time, which is great. So thank you again.
Thank you.
So we'll move along to the questions. Any of the investors wants to be the first one? Okay, Mark, I see you want to take the floor. Please go ahead.
Sure, thank you. Hi, Olga. Thank you very much for the presentation. One question, I know you're in phase 1, so you're still trying to test your products, but I was curious about the scalability of such a production process based on laser. It seems to be, for me, it seems gut feeling complicated. Is it possible to scale up this process easily?
Yes, it is. At first stage, we would like to scale up the production of advanced nanodiamond additives using our developed technology of nanodiamond surface modification. We can modify, we can clean, purify, and modify detonation nanodiamonds, and this is no problem. We can do this within 6 months, maybe 7, not more. The third stage, when we have already market, when we sell nanodiamond additives containing of more than 10 kilos per month, we would like to start building of laser nanodiamond synthesis line. We checked in Panda projects due to budget we get from Horizon 20. And we see this 200 tons. 200 kilo per month means 2 ton, more than 2 ton for year.
Thank you, Marc, and thank you, Olga. And Olga, taking on a previous question also, do you have any idea at this time what's the cost of such production? So we see the advantage of using nano diamonds, but do you know the impact on the price of using nano diamonds on such products?
Yes, thank you for your question. Where the targeted cost is $half per gram, means $500 per kilo before surface modification for absolutely pure, uniform nano diamond powder.
Okay, thank you. And do you know how far are you from a real product use? So you are in laboratory stage. Do you know what the time, the phases you are still away from real product use?
We already can provide nano diamond additives for lubricants, polymers, coatings in any amounts you wish, using detonation nanodiamonds and using facilities of our lab, university, our subcontractors. The main problem for us now is industrial validation, and we are looking for partnerships with your corporations.
Great, thank you so much, Olga, and congrats again on your presentation. So it's time to move along. And next on the list, we have Jens from Pewas. Jens, you ready? Jan, not Jens. Wait, okay, go ahead, sorry.
Hi everyone, can you first just double check, the technicalities, if everything works perfectly? So can you see me and can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. We can see you, but we are not seeing your presentation yet. I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to share it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, it's working.
So I can start.
Whenever you want. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the global population is growing fast. At the same time, farmers need to provide more food with fewer resources. Drought is a major worry in agriculture, causing huge losses. 27 billion euros globally in 2018 to be exact. The causes of drought are complex and require joint efforts to reduce this negative impact. However, these might not be available in the short future down the road. But farmers, they deal with the consequences of drought right now. So imagine, all of us, if there was an efficient, scalable, and sustainable solution that could mitigate drought-related losses, but right now. My name is Jan Horvath, and I'm the CEO of Pewas company, and I'm thrilled to introduce to you our innovative proprietary technology, Aqua Holder. Aqua Holder makes seeds efficiently drought-resistant. How we do it? It contains certified and well-recognized superabsorbents. They have been on the market. These substances that can absorb huge amount of water, and this trapped water within their structure can release it to the roots of the seed gradually in the times when they need it most. So what is the, let's say, secret sauce, and what is unique about Aqua Holder? On the left-hand side in the red, you see a current multi-step application process of applying superabsorbents on the seeds. Due to this complexity, this procedure is currently limited to laboratory and more academic purposes only. In contrast, on the right-hand side in green, you see all-in-one revolutionary Aqua Holder technology that can overcome all these technological barriers of applying superabsorbent on the seed in the industrial setting. It's efficient, more efficient, and ecological, and can be used in industrial settings in a large scale, and so overcome the technological barrier that I mentioned before. Aqua Holder already achieved great field results in the past 2 years. A 10% increase of crop productivity per hectare was provided to the farmers compared to control fields in the sensitive areas. Moreover, Aqua Holder can act as a carrier for other products that are out there on the market tested, and we can basically simplify the seed coating process to get those products on the seed, and so they can enter also new markets that are not available to them until now. With our strategic and distribution partners, we anticipate the international rollout first in 10 European countries, starting in 2020, to reach 52 million euros revenues by 2026 by selling formulated Aqua Holder to seed companies. Once the product is well established within these countries, we plan to license our patent rights to partners in other geographies to maximize Aqua Holder's potential. Until now, we have achieved a solid traction since the angel investor entered into the company and trusted us in 2015. We grew from 2 to 10 passionate professionals with complementary profiles who helped transition Aqua Holder from technological level readiness 1 to 7 out of 9. And we also were able to attract to our vision 4 advisory board members who helped us with business development and technical steering of the company. We filed international patent application and teamed up with top industry and research institutions who help us validate our technology. Up to now, we have been testing in 14 countries and on 10 different crop types. There are 15 letters of intent available upon request. We have won various grants and awards, such as Horizon 2020, and 4 contracts until now worth 500,000 euros. In conclusion, we have a solid team, great business plan that we put together to make Aqua Holder available commercially within 2 years. There is only a little thing that we need, and that is your support to make this transition faster. At the moment, we are seeking investment to build our pilot line, since our current production capacities are not enough to meet our rising demand for Aqua Holder. Just for a record, we have in 2018 carried out 5 tons of treated seed with our product, but just from one client we have 20 tons already as an order. We hope that you, we hope that you join us in this exciting journey, and we can, deliver and execute great things together. Thank you for your attention, and looking forward to your questions in the follow-up section.
Thank you, Jan. So I see that we have some questions waiting here. Mark, I believe you are the first one. Do you want to go ahead?
Hi, thanks, great presentation. One question, you're talking about super absorbers, so that's polyacrylic acid based. Do you expect any regulatory problems when you are thinking about microplastic issues? Since polyacrylic acid is not exactly the 100% biodegradable, perhaps?
Okay, so the first thing, of course, we're observing the legislatory procedures that are planned and down the road. And as far as we know, in the legislation that is down the line, super absorbent, since it doesn't migrate in the soil, is not considered microplast in this sense. Basically, our product degrades partially in a biodegradable mode of action, and fully degrades within mechanical and physical forces that happen in the soil. So basically, it degrades in CO2, H2O, ammonium, potassium salt, and nitrogen.
Okay, thank you. Thierry, I believe you are the second. You can take it away.
Yes, still regarding regulatory, could you quickly tell about the registration status of your product?
Okay, so in case we are delivering just the formulation and it doesn't actually access the farmer or the end user, we do not need anything for the agricultural purposes, but we are okay within the existing REACH legislation. At the same time, we do have our Aqua Holder certified for agricultural purposes, and even at the moment, we are carrying out the rounds to have it in a ecological, let's say, subcategory. So that's actually on the way at the moment. So we have supplied all, let's say, possible evaluations and possible reports that we have until now from the testing to the authority, and we are actually waiting for this eco or ecological farming to be registered soon.
Very clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jens, you want to take next?
Yeah, thank you, Jan, for the presentation.
Thank you very much.
I have a question regarding production. If you talk about production, so what I understood is that you buy the superabsorber and then you have a coating process or develop a coating process. So is production really coating the seed, or is production that you modify the superabsorber that it can be used as a seed coating?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's great. Yeah. Thank you for this question. So basically, at the moment, what is actually part of the patent, on one hand, is a chemical formulation that except or on top of the active ingredients, which is the superabsorbent that we discussed, consists of other 7-8 substances, and that's part of the formulation. At the same time, and that's our innovation together with this formulation, is the method how to apply it in the industrial seed coating processes. So that's part of the patent. And what we want to do, based on the, let's say, talks in January of this year with industry players, the ones we were able to kind of present first preliminary results after 2 years. So basically they told us that they would like to test in more countries, and for this one we need a pilot line to produce first the formulation, but also in the second place we will be also coating the seeds with our formulation in order to also get a better grips on the industrial production. But in the future we will be licensing out the patent that would be another company, bigger company like a chemical like yourself, will be able to produce it based on this recipe and the know-how acquired from the learning phase of ScaleUp.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, we also have a question from Joost from Dow.
Yeah, hi, Jan, Joost here. How do you compete, or how do you see the competitive landscape towards soil treatments? Technologies that basically are aimed at retaining water better in the first 60 centimeters of the soil compared to actually doing the seed coating.
Okay, sure. I mean, like we have covered the competitive landscape. The solution that I described in my slide was mostly targeting, let's say, the direct approach of applying seeds directly on the seed. Absorbent directly on the seed. That is something that is currently not, to our knowledge, and also based on the meetings with the industrial players, this is something that is not available out there. And the soil conditioners, they are less targeted compared to our solution, and you need much more of the substance, making it economically not feasible. So we have also produced and modified superabsorbent. I mean, that is applied, let's say, on a less targeted manner as a substrate mixture, or you can apply it into soil through an injector when you have a gel absorbed. But we don't see here such potential as we see in this targeted application of superabsorbent directly on the seed.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you so much, Jan. We ran a little bit over time, but since we had time from the other presentations, we are still good. So Jan, don't forget to thank your colleagues for them to be on time. And so moving along, then thank you all for this. Moving along, we have next, it's Mauricio from Grand Recycling. Mauricio, you ready?
Yes, I am. Let me share my screen.
Mm-hmm. Please do. Okay. Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes, we are seeing.
Try if it works. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Please.
I think on the
whenever.
right you have the band of the. There we go.
Okay. Whenever you want.
No, I can't take off. Whatever. It's fine. Okay. Good morning. I am Maurticia Crippa. I am CEO, founder, and inventor of the technology behind the GR3N. I don't know if you know, but plastics are not circular. What we are talking today is about PET. PET or polyester is the second most used plastics in the world after polyethylene. And it's the material used for plastic bottles and for polyester fibers, textiles, clothes. The major part of this material is used for clothes, almost 2/3, and 1/3 it's used for food containers. Among this huge material, just a few fraction can be recycled. A few fraction, I'm talking about 5–7%, when you can go bottle to bottle, but the major part of these materials is used for textiles, which is the market absorbing the material from the PET bottles. And what is called, this process is called cascading or downcycling, because the material loses the function. If we do chemical recycling, it means that we go back to the building blocks of the polymer and then we purify it. We can process high contaminated material, like a textile, for example, and we can go to upcycling. That's exactly what we do with our technology. We can treat opaque bottles, plastic trays, and even textiles. We did an LCA, and then we discovered that we have a great saving in energy in terms of the production of monomers from our process instead from oil, and we have -64% on CO2 emission. The implication is also $11 billion in social cost that we never take account as a chemist. The business model of the company is based mainly in licensing, of course, the technology to realize chemical plants doing the depolymerization and then repolymerization. We have many partners that are working with us. Some they are feedstock provider. It means collectors of bottles from municipalities like Suez or Remondis or A2A, but also we can have textile collector, and we are contracting with other brands like the brands you see here. They are able to receive the polymer produced from our monomers. And the timeline for green is to finish the Demeto plant, which is a demo plant that is under construction, and the erection will be finished on April the next year. Then we're gonna have almost 1 year of testing the engineeristic choices that were chosen to realize the plants. In the meantime, we're gonna continue our R&D and developing the new patent that we are submitting right now, because this is gonna generate the 10 kiloton plant that we would like to design during 20 and construct on between 21 and 22. The 10 kiloton plant will be just the first part of the bigger plants, and it's needed that we do the plant because people wanted to see what we are able to do on a full big industrial scale. We were granted through two European projects. One was Symbiotica, and the second one is Demeto for 12 million euros. Now we are looking for 2 million euros of course, for equity, and we need a
30
second
seconds,
round of 4
Mauricio.
million euros. I'm finished. The mission is to really know more oil to produce PET. I would like to share that we were awarded with the best innovation of Europe 2018 with a rather prize in Vienna. Thank you for your attention.
So thank you so much, Mauricio. So passing to the questions, we already have the Jens from EVONIK that wants to ask a question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mauricio. Nice presentation. I have 2 questions. The first of all is we all know that's always difficult if you have a mixture of polymers. So if it's not pure PET, how you deal with the sorting. And the other question is, when I understood your technology correct, then it's a microwave. What is the energy consumption of your technology? And is this really on a sustainable pathway?
Okay. After the different, we have 2 kinds of contaminants, what I call the reacting and the non-reacting contaminants. We do basic hydrolysis. Basic hydrolysis produce intermediates of terephthalic acid, which is sodium terephthalate, which is easy to purify. The polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, PVC, rayon viscosa, cottons, linen, paper, they come out unreacted and then they are filtered after the reaction. The nylons, the polyurethanes, like in the textile is called lycra, they react in the reaction and they are removed in another point of the purification process. After that, we figured out how to use the microwave to the depolymerization. Our focus was just on purification. And the purification is very efficient and very robust. Just to give you a number, we worked with 80% PET and 20% rayon viscosa, 20% nylon 6, and it's fine, and 20% lycra, which is fine. The monomers, the terephthalic acid is always beautiful and perfect. The reason is the intermediate generated by the alkaline hydrolysis. Our competitor, they do glycolysis, methanolysis, which are harder to purify. Technical point. The second response is the microwave is not used for heating. The microwave, they have a catalytic effect. Then we warm up the mixture to the reaction time with normal condition, gas, just to be clear. The microwave is just kept there in order to take advantage of the catalytic effect. Because the reaction with microwave takes 10 minutes. If you do in normal condition, it takes 2 to 3 hours. That's why the microwave.
Okay.
The energy consumption is perfectly on in the balance sheet in our cost, and then the production cost of our monomers is perfectly competitive with the monomer produced from oil. Of course, the selling price will be not the same because I want to sell with the premium because they come from waste and not from oil, but at least the price, basic price is competitive.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mauricio. We have time for one last question, if anyone wants to take it. If not, Mauricio, I would like to ask you. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Jens.
Yeah. No, take yours. It's okay.
Okay, so Mauricio, I wanted to ask you if you can provide some more information on your business plan. Sorry, on your business model. Sorry.
Yeah, the business model is simply the microwave reactors are not from the shelf. They have to be produced. Then, of course, we are establishing contract with a provider that can realize the microwave reactor for us under our patent, our drawings. This is one part. These microwaves will be embedded in a chemical plant that will be realized by EPC contractors. This is the licensing process. But nobody will buy any chemical plants without seeing what they got to buy. Then the first industrial plant will be erected by us and owned by us, and they will be used as a showcase to show to people what they're going to buy buying our technology. This is the business model, basically.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mauricio, and congrats on the presentation. So we have to move along now. And next, or last but not least, we have Simoa Soares from SilicoLife. Simoa, are you ready?
Yes. Thank you for having me here. I will just share my slides.
Okay, yeah, you are seeing it.
So
whenever you want. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Simoa Soares from SilicoLife. We are a company using AI and biology for the sustainable production of chemicals, and we have been doing this since 2010. So this is a picture from the last youth climate strike in Brussels, and these are the customers of today, and they will be the majority of the customers of tomorrow. And nowadays, they want to know our product is produced, and also trying to understand if it is following the sustainability that they expect to have in the products they are buying. So we are working on this trend from artificial to non-artificial chemicals, and we believe that it's not possible to move away from petrochemical processes and only rely on plant extraction, and that biotechnology and industrial biotechnology is a good way of having scalable biological production for the chemicals that we have today, and also for the chemicals that we want to have tomorrow. So at SilicoLife, we have been using computational design to design cell factories, so the microorganisms inside the fermentation process, so that we can produce in interesting yields the target compounds. And it can be from food ingredients to biopolymers and biofuels. And we believe that before optimizing the refinery, we need to optimize the organism itself. And that's what we have been doing since 2010. So we like to use the GPS analogy. And if we are in a big city like LA, we need to have a map to know what can we do there, the good restaurants and the sightseeing opportunities that we have available. And we look to the organism with the same approach. So we create models of the metabolism to understand the resources that we have there, and then we apply AI algorithms to define how can we convert most of the raw material into the product of interest and minimizing the formation of byproducts. And as we are working with the overall system and not the pathway for the production of the compound itself, we are able to find non-obvious solutions. And in terms of IP, this is quite important. So what we do, we generate IP from a very early stage. So we have been working with very different clients as a service provider. So from chemical companies to material science partners to agriculture companies. And we have also been involved in a couple of public R&D projects. We are leading probably the largest synthetic biology project in Europe for industrial biotechnology applications, called Shiki Factory 100, where we are combining rapid prototyping with AI to create novel routes to 100 compounds from the Shiki-mate pathway. And we are also now pursuing molecules selected by ourselves, and we started our lab operations this year. So in our product pipeline, we have been tackling mostly food colorants and antioxidants, mainly compounds that are limited in their availability. For instance, that it's only available through plant extraction, and that we don't still know how they are being completely synthesized by the plants. So we use AI to find new hypotheses that we then test and create new pathways. And the product that we have more advanced in, and that is also a good example of our technology, is our work in the N-butanol case. So the pathways leading to N-butanol, they rely on the Clostridium pathway, and they are patented. Using our AI system and without inputting any prior knowledge, we designed a new one using a different precursor. We then implemented it. It's working. We submitted a patent last year. We just got the search report saying that it's novel, and we got SME phase 1, SME instrument phase 1 grant that allows also to further evaluate the economic potential of it, and we are now working with potential industrial partners.
30 seconds, Sima.
So just to wrap up, so we have a team with 15 people, combining people from computational biology and biology itself. Almost 10 years of track record as a service provider and working with very large chemical companies. And we have also keep developing our methodologies and validating these technologies with clients and also internal projects. We work on a de-risked selection of molecules that we want to pursue by ourselves, and there is a very good synergy with our collaborative projects. And in a nutshell, that's it. So from a computational vector that allows us to find good concepts, we are able to implement them and then license and partner with others. Thank you very much. That's it from our side, and I'll be happy to take your questions.
Thank you, Sima, for your presentation. So let's move along to the questions part. Who wants to be the first one? So if I'll take the floor. Okay, so Jens, yeah, you can go.
But maybe we have again the same question. So it was the same in the last time with the business model. I also want to know what the business model is. This more a service that you provide, or how we have to understand this?
So what got us here was services. So I've been working as a service provider, but what we are now looking for is to focus only on the molecules that we want to pursue by ourselves. So here the business model is to license the technologies that we are generating. And yeah, the main reason is to also capture more value and also to control these projects. While as a service provider, yeah, the client is taking most of the risk and of course most of the benefits in there.
And then your customer has to use this software package to really do this. So
no,
I think that's possible.
So our business model is not to license our software technologies. We believe that what makes the difference in the end is the combination of people and technology. So we know how to use this. Of course, this computational approach, they are not a crystal ball, but they are a good way of finding interesting leads. But the combination of the experience of using them to solve the problem is what makes the difference in the end. So what we are looking to license is really the technologies that we are developing for the production of target molecules. For instance, in the case of N-butanol, is a new pathway that avoids what is already protected.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
I also have a question. Yes, if you want to go, yeah.
So thanks for the presentation. I mean, I'll be very candid. I'm not an AI expert by far, but I wanted to make the distinction or better understand where the real advantage would be. Is it on the discovery path, or would it be on the optimization path of an existing process, or even to larger scale up? Where would the real advantage sit? In the way I understand it is, it would really be on the discovery path, on finding, I'll say, novel routes to get to a new protected potential pathway. Is my understanding correct?
It's correct, but yeah. So we started by working mainly on the optimization. So how can we direct more flux to the pathway of interest? But now a big part of what we do is really designing new pathways to avoid existing bottlenecks, or to avoid IP blocks, or even in cases that we don't know how the pathway is working in reality, for instance, in the plant, and we are using our systems to design these new pathways. And yeah, you are right. Our focus is more, let's say, on the initial phase, or not really on the scale up. So we focus more on first optimizing the cell, and not really going further into scale-up validation. So for pilot scale and for large scale, we have partners that will take care of the fermentation.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Simão. So we are out of time. So thank you, Simão, and thank you everyone for your presentations. So this was the last pitch of today. Next on the agenda, we have a quick feedback from the investors present. So I remind that this feedback can be general or specific to a company. So if any of the investors wants to be the first, please go ahead.
Yes, Joost here. So first of all, I'll say Filipe. I will say very well organized. I think this is, I think not just to the companies, but in a general comment. Everything was on time. Presentations were fine. So it went at a good pace. So at least from my perspective, this was time very well spent. Which elaborates some new insights. I think for all the presenters, I think the presentations were fine. There are nuances where sometimes you want to see a little bit more of this or sometimes a little bit more of that. There's only 5 minutes, choices have to be made. That's fine. But I think all the presentations enabled at least questions to be asked or will solicit some further follow-up which can be done afterwards. So all in all, I think this was quite positive, quite productive, and has at least achieved what I was looking for.
Thank you so much, Joost, for your feedback. Anyone of the other investors wants to give some feedback? Thierry, yes?
I agree totally with you, Joost. I've had the opportunity to attend several e-pitch sessions already, and this one is probably the best one for me.
Thank you. Thank you for your feedback, Thierry. Jens, yes?
Yeah, I also agree with the two others, and I think especially that we have the possibility to have this exchange with question and answers, which were very well received. This was really something different to other e-pitches I have attended so far. So thank you very much for that organizing. And one question from my side, do we get all the presentations afterwards so that we can have individual follow-ups with the startups if necessary?
Thank you for your question. So the main objective of this pitching is exactly that, is for you to have a follow-up with the companies that you feel interesting. I don't think there will be a problem sharing the presentations. It's up to the companies, of course, but we will take care of that. And if not a problem, we'll share it, all the presentations with investors.
Okay, thank you very much.
Marc, you wanted to go next?
Yeah, sure. Basically, there's not much else to add. It was a very nice event, a very constructive and very focused event and a very efficient event. So thank you for that. And I just want to just follow up on what Jens said about the presentations. I think if we get the presentations, then we can maybe give in separate calls or emails, maybe additional feedback on specific questions. But I don't think this is the right format now for the detailed questions. But thanks again. This was a very time efficient way of pitching.
Thank you, Marc. Yes, please.
Yeah, if I may add something, and that's maybe a general comment. And so on the presentations, I know it's a triviality, but do add your email address, phone numbers, and so that it makes it very easy for us to contact you. That's just very helpful.
Yeah. Great feedback. Yes. So we'll make sure to remember that to the companies before they share their pitches. And thank you. Yes. So moving along to the last part of our pitch, the closure and final remarks, I would like to give the word again to my colleague Diana for a quick wrap-up. Diana, are you ready? Okay.
Hello, Filipe,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, all good.
Well, I would like to invite, can you also see us?
Yes.
I would like to invite also my colleagues Andrea and Roman to join in the here in the screen, so that I would like first of all to thank you very much for a great organization. It was a great teaching session. I would like to thank very much to the investor for their very good comments and to the companies for the amazing pitches. And yeah, we invite you on ScaleUp EU. Please provide the feedback on the survey to us, because it's really important for us. Also, negative feedback. It's important for us to improve our services. And yeah, we can. I can confirm that we can share the presentation with the jury members. Like we can share the presentation of the companies. And we are really looking forward for the next e-pitching event, which will take place on 31st October 2019, not as I said previously. Thank you very much for everything, and I wish you a wonderful day and great deals and great discussions. And please keep us updated on this as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diana, Roman, and Andrea. So just as a final remark and closure, I would like to thank everyone for participating in this innovative e-pitching session. It's one of the first for us also, but we want to repeat this for sure, and we want to improve. So your feedback is more than welcome, and please do it. Although the efficiency, we are still almost 10 minutes out of time, which is okay, not bad, but that's something we can improve in the future for sure. And I would like to reinforce that the main goal of this e-pitching session is exactly this: is to promote a space, is to host a space for connection between investors and the companies. So please feel free to contact the companies you feel attractive to, or if you want more information, you can find all the information about these companies on the ScaleUp tool. If you are any trouble managing the ScaleUp tool, please don't hesitate to contact the EIC. And we can help you with that for sure. So like Diana said, we'll have another e-pitching session already scheduled for the 31st of October at the same time. Okay, it's going to be on the renewable energy. So please feel free to connect. Also, you'll have more information and the connection link also on the EIC community. And looking forward to see all of your success and see you soon. Okay, thank you so much, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.